It's a live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
The Jamaica Debates Commission presents the General Elections Debates in association with Scotiabank, For Every Future, Kendall, The Taste of Quality, Blow, NCB, Arc Manufacturing, Water, Alaska Foundation, Pan Jamaica Group, Miss Birdie, H&L Homes, and VM Group. See the two major political parties debate national issues live August 23, 26, and 28 at 9 p.m. It's a political must-see. Don't miss the General Elections Debates presented by the Jamaica Debates Commission. Watch, listen, decide, vote.
Joining us for CVM News at noon for this Friday, August 22, 2025. I'm Amoy Harriet. Up first this afternoon, murders continue to trend downward, with the latest police data showing a 43% decline. But according to Justice Minister Delroy Chuck, much more can be done to further reduce the numbers. Now, as Raymond Morrison reports, justices of the peace are once again being called on to help in the fight against crime.
Against the background of a 43% decline in murders up to August 16 when compared to the same period in 2024, the government is urging justices of the peace to play their part. According to the latest data from the JCF Serious Crimes Report up to August 16, there have been 318 fewer murders this year. 422 people have been murdered, compared to 740 at the same time in 2024. Speaking at the commissioning ceremony in St. Catherine on Wednesday, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck urged the new JPs to play their part in helping to curb crime and restore order to communities.
There's no reason why we should have so many murders still going on. And we want them to get down. I hope to live, to be alive when we get down to less than 100 murders a year. But we have to work now to less than 100 murders per year, which has gone as high as 1674 per year. And it is coming down. But it must continue downward even faster than it is now. But we must work together. It cannot be the work of the government and the police alone.
Mr. Chuck says the efforts of the Justice Ministry have been yielding results.
Because the aim of the justice system is that when matters come to the parish court, they should be dealt with. At least 90% of them should be dealt with. At the moment, 90% are being dealt with within a year. That's good. A situation where within 6 months matters can be dealt with.
The minister also declared that Jamaica now boasts one of the best justice administration in the region and thanked the collective work of the JPs and legal officials.
We have one of the best justice systems in the Caribbean at the moment. But we're far away. Much more improvements are needed. More courts will be built. But not only that, people must feel.
He believes with the continued support of justices of the peace, Jamaica can strengthen its communities and improve the delivery of justice. Raymond Morrison, CVM News.
Now, with the first of 3 national public debates political debates just over 24 hours away, both major political parties are expressing confidence. The debate on social issues will take center stage at 9 p.m. on Saturday at the Creative Production and Training Center in Kingston. Senior member of the JLP Communication Task Force, Marlon Morgan, and PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell both say their teams are ready.
The Jamaica Labour Party is looking forward to all 3 debates in the upcoming Jamaica Debates Commission facilitated and organized debates. Of course, things get underway on Saturday with the social issues debate, where Pernell Charles Jr., Kamina Johnson-Smith, and Matthew Samuda are set to represent Team JLP. Our preparations as a team have been on in earnest, and we believe that we are ticking the key boxes and are fine-tuning our messages, because we are very clear that we stand on a record of achievement in addition to what it is that we are proposing to do on being elected to a 3rd successive term of office.
Team PNP is prepared for the 3 national debates. The social issues debate commencing on Saturday. Senator Damian Crawford, Senator Sophia Fraser-Binns, and Raymond Price. They have been practicing for the better part of a month. We are fully prepared with our manifesto position around the issues that will be discussed in the debate. And of course, there isn't a JLP manifesto that we can debate, but nonetheless, we are prepared to go into that debate and to represent the views of the PNP and show the country as to how a PNP government will create a better life, better quality of life.
Now, after years of mass departures, teacher migration is showing an unexpected shift. Permanent Secretary in the Education Ministry, Dr. Kassan Troop, recently disclosed that fewer teachers left the island during the last academic year. Now, Principal of the Old Harbour High School, Linton Ware, believes this decline may be tied to growing fears among educators about the political climate in the United States.
I mean, by this time, the 3rd week in August, I would have seen at least 5, 6 resignations. And I'm just happy that this is only one that I'm seeing so far. But let's see what is going to happen next week. I am of the opinion that many persons are waiting and watching to see, some of the things that Donald Trump is actually doing, because each day he presents something different. And I think that is why we're seeing a low reduction as it relates to the number of persons.
The political race in Trilone Northern is shaping up as the JLP's Tova Hamilton and the PNP's Dr. Wickham McNeil were nominated for the seat earlier this week. Carla Ramdeen has more.
JLP's Tova Hamilton and PNP's Dr. Wickham McNeil have been nominated for the Trilone Northern seat. Former Member of Parliament, Dr. McNeil, lost to the JLP's Moreland Wilson in Westmoreland Western in 2020. He's seeking to unseat Hamilton, who took the constituency in the last general election. When asked about his switch from the Westmoreland Western seat, he says his aim is to tackle issues of water, education and tourism.
I looked at North Trilone and I said it's a new frontier. Look at the development that is about to take place here. And I believe it is done right. If we put the infrastructure in place, if we have the training for the people of North Trilone so that they can benefit from actually working in the sector rather than for other persons coming in because we're not prepared. If we can ensure that the farmers get their linkages so that they can sell and know what markets to sell to in the tourism industry, the benefits are tremendous.
Hamilton explained she has been making house calls and has received support from the people. When asked about being challenged by Dr. McNeil, she had this to say.
But he has done nothing for his constituency and he lost in the last election. I'm not going to put a number on it. I'm waiting for the people to decide how much they want me to win by.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
Meanwhile, incumbent Member of Parliament for Western Hanover, Tamika Davis, is confident she will retain her seat. Amid scores of supporters earlier this week, she defended her track record in the constituency.
When I win, it is to continue all that I've begun. There has been a lot of work done on roads. We're now going on the track program of the 10 roads selected. We've had 3 that have started. There are some community projects, more works in education, health. The Lucy bypass, what I'm most looking forward to, moving the urban center, helping with farmers, and it continues.
Now, the People's National Party continue their tour on Wednesday in Westmoreland Western. Now, former MP Ian Hales, who is seeking a return to power, criticized healthcare in the parish. He also blasted the government about water availability, among other issues.
The people of Westmoreland need to stop carrying water on their head, and that's why you have put me as the spokesperson for water. Most of the citizens of Westmoreland, when they go to Savlamar Hospital, they have to sleep on chair for 4 or 5 days before they get a bed. We need a new wing at the Savlamar Hospital. The people of Negril have to go to Little London to pick up mail. We want a post office in Negril for the people. Nobody don't have to tell you if you choose nothing, because it's on your birth certificate. Banya, come from Anya, Jamaica, land we love.
And it's time now for a break, but stay with us. Our interview segment is next.
Equipment, the new name in forklift sales and rentals in Jamaica. Top quality, low prices, fleet discounts available, 12-month warranty, free service parts, daily rentals, crazy cheap. Ashman's Equipment, same forklift, better deals.
Getting the keys to your own home is a feeling many cannot describe. It's a moment we all hope for, and a dream that all Jamaicans have. The new social housing program is the difference between a dream and reality. The government, through the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, is building hope, one home at a time.
I'm Giovanni Dennis, and this is CVM News.
Welcome back to CVM News at noon. As the country gears up for the 2025 general election, attention now turns to the highly anticipated national debates. Member of the Jamaican Association for Debating and Empowerment, Ronald McClean, is joining us now to share his insights with the teams preparing to face the nation. Welcome, Mr. McClean.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So, you have experience as a debater. What do you think makes an effective political debate performance?
I think if we're looking at effectiveness from the standpoint of what makes a good debate, that might be slightly different from effectiveness from a strategic political standpoint. So obviously, the political teams are trying to win an election, and that's going to come with different expectations and perhaps for them obligations versus if they were just trying to cater to an audience and just trying to inform or maybe just trying to, win a debate, standardly speaking. I think a good debate comprises clear clashes and clear communication. So when I say clear clashes, I mean that there are direct substantive disagreements between two sides. So we can understand that both sides are taking different positions on different issues and that they're engaging still with the other team's point of view. And I say clear communication in the sense that the teams communicate to the audience that they're speaking to. And so in the case of the political debates, the politicians are able to distill even technical details of and matters of policy in non-technical terms to the widest lay audience that they possibly can. now in terms of like a strategic political affair. Maybe politicians will think that some of the strategies that they need to use to win the election might not necessarily be in accordance with some of the strategies that you need to win a good debate. So, you know, like we are used to in debates here in Jamaica, politicians like to evade questions that might be too challenging for them or that might reveal parts of their platform that are perhaps unpopular with a certain base or a certain demographic of people. But in a good debate, we want politicians to be answering the question. So that just kind of highlights what some of the tension might be between an effective debate performance if you're trying to win an election and an effective debate performance for the public's information and education at large.
So speaking of questions, what role does preparation versus adaptability play when unexpected questions come up?
Well, I think preparation is everything. So I think there are a certain number of issues that you expect to fall into each of the debates. So you can expect a social debate to include things like education policy, housing policy, lots of the matches relating to constitutional reform, perhaps. And you can expect an economic debate to include things like national finance, as well as agriculture, tourism, lots of the sectors that play into Jamaica's economy, Jamaica's economic pie. So teams will anticipate that certain questions in key areas will come at them, and they'll be quite familiar with the.
All right, let's head to a quick break and we'll continue this interview with Ronald, Dina, McClean shortly after these messages.
Attention registered voters! Remember to collect your renewed voter ID card before the upcoming general election. If you registered to vote in 2016 or after and did not get your new ID card, it may have been automatically renewed. Simply visit your EOJ constituency office to collect your voter ID card. Contact the Electoral Office of Jamaica at 888-991-VOTE or 922-0425-9 for more information.
The time by Subaru is 12:50.
Welcome back to CVM News at Noon. We're joined by Jay's Ronald, Dina, McClean, and we're talking about the upcoming political debate. So, Mr. McClean, as a debater, what are some of the biggest mistakes debaters tend to make, and how can the election teams for tomorrow, leading into next week, avoid these mistakes?
Yeah, so one big mistake that debaters, I think, probably in the political realm tend to make is not knowing the audience that they're speaking to, not knowing the audience they're addressing. So a debate is not the same as the launch of your manifesto. It's not the same as a press conference. It's not the same as parliament. And so language is really important. The words you use, the way you communicate your ideas is key, it's crucial. And so they're going to have to understand that they're speaking to different people. They're speaking to a national audience, they're speaking to a TV audience, and they're going to have to cater to those different levels of understanding, familiarity with politics, levels of education, and present the information to the widest possible audience. I think they have to stay on point. They have to stay on message. Obviously, they're campaigning on a certain national message. They have to stick to that kind of script, but they also have to be willing to adapt to the questions asked. And so they can't run from the question and jump to repeating the national slogan. People understand, people see through that, and I think that the excellent moderators and journalists we have will hold them to the fire if that happens.
So something that we've seen in previous debates, the past couple of years, we're seeing direct attacks from opponents. What strategies would you recommend for handling these situations?
Well, I mean, I think there's a place for direct attacks that can be clean, that can be healthy, and that can be effective. Some of what we've seen in the past is direct attacks that are ineffective and kind of fall flat. So I think ideally, if you're not the kind of if if you're not the kind of debater that thinks well on your feet, then you probably should stay away from direct attacks on your opponents, because you might make a misstep and your attack falls flat or just looks unappealing to an audience and negatively affects you. But obviously, I think these teams are strong teams, and I think the candidates are excellent thinkers, think well on their feet, and are the kind of people that I expect to directly and aggressively engage with each other at times. So I'm not super worried about that. I'm very, very interested to watch, though.
And finally, what's one golden rule each candidate should keep in mind before stepping on those stages for the debates?
Well, I'd say don't speak unless you know exactly what you're talking about.
All right. Short and to the point. That was Mr. McClean, Jade's Ronald Dina McClean, and he was here sharing some tips for the teams that will be performing in the political debates, which starts tomorrow at 9 p.m. Now, in news overseas, Colombia's president is accusing rebel groups of carrying out 2 separate attacks that have killed 18 people. At least 6 people died in the southwest city of Cali, where a bombing at an airbase has heightened security. More from Al Jazeera.
A twisted metal frame marks the spot where a car bomb exploded in